Share the sound. And we are, come on. Go.
Two bald guys and they're talking about hockey. Two bald guys and they're talking about hockey. Two bald guys and they're talking about hockey. Two bald guys talking about hockey. Two bald guys and they're 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 talking about hockey. And they're bald. And there's hockey. Hockey.
Jean, we are approaching 2,000 views on our
No
channel.
way.
2,000. I'm not
Wow.
kidding. We're like 1,700 and something right now, I think.
That is pretty amazing.
Is like, wow.
I'm sorry, but I didn't never expected that.
I didn't either.
So, every time I look at the at our song or
Our intro.
our intro, I don't know if you noticed the portion where they show the pucks with the logos.
Yeah.
I love to look at the North Stars, Whalers, Nordiques logos, just the old logos. I love that. The old times,
No, we don't.
retro. So we're going to be talking about playoff hockey tonight, Steve.
Yes, we are.
ECHL and NHL.
Yes. And well, I mean, I'd love to start off just talking about the Sens because it's you and me.
Yes. Nobody else is listening.
Nobody else is listening. All our ones of listeners. But I mean, it's hard to be disappointed with that series. I am a little bit disappointed in the result. I mean, obviously we wanted them to win, but they played well, man. Like game one, the refs did them no favors. I would agree with the assessment that they came out nervous. Like they were hitting everything, and Stützle with like 12 hits or 13 hits in the game or something. Like that's not why you're there, Timmy, but I appreciate it. And there were some shitty calls. Like, there were some shitty calls that went against the Sens in that game.
Go
ahead.
There was like, it's, to me, they weren't just shitty calls. They were like borderline calls. And then like Toronto came out flying on their power play. They were just awesome. Awesome.
But the goals that went in, Sean, were like bouncing in.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they were playing great.
But they put themselves in a position to get the bounces.
Yes.
Like I'm never going to complain about a team getting bounces because they're put in position, they put themselves in that position to get the bounces. And remember at the trade deadline, we did a show and I told you how I liked the moves that the GM of Toronto made because I thought they made themselves better. And what we saw in the series against Ottawa, and I'm getting a rash all over my body right now talking positively about the Maple Leafs, but was what I thought that they got in the at the trade deadline. Carlo, Scott Loughton, they got who else did they get? But Chris Tanev that they included, Ekman Larson last summer also. So they built up their defense, which is as better than it's been, and they built their bottom six. So their bottom six now is tough. They can produce also, and Matthew Knies for former Florida Panther DCHL Matthew Knies that I wasn't patient enough is looking awesome. So I'm giving the credit to the Leafs to beat Ottawa, but if you look at it, Toronto shellacked Ottawa in the first game. The other three games went to overtime, and then Ottawa shellacked,
Spanked them.
spanked Toronto in Toronto for game 5. Game 6 was a 1-goal game.
Yeah.
Like a 1-goal game, again on a shitty call on Brady Tkachuk when he interfered with or roughing with Brandon Carlo. Like, are you kidding me? Like, so if you look at it, the Leafs won. I'm giving
Congrats.
them props. Congrats. And I hope you lose in 4 against Florida.
Well,
But
okay, here's what I'm gonna say on that. Okay, because when we talk about the Leafs in the playoffs, every year it's Marner and Matthews need to perform better every year.
Yeah.
And I listen to freaking Toronto sports media up here, and it drives me nuts. Now that the Leafs have won, they're all talking about how great Marner's and Matthews played in that series. They weren't watching the same series I was because they did not.
Mitch Marner was from games 4, 5, and 6. Might as well put out an MIA.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was not there.
And I love to compare this because the top 2 players at Edmonton are McDavid and Draisaitl. And if Edmonton has a problem, it's that they don't have anyone other than those guys that perform in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about McDavid and Draisaitl as they're disappearing in the playoffs. Like you watch them, you watch that LA after game 2. Like I remember watching it was game 5 or game 6. I think it was game 6, the start of game 6. And it was every time McDavid was on the ice in the first period. They were down 2-0. Then McDavid said, "We ain't losing this game." And like, imagine if Marner or Matthews played like that.
Yep.
Right? Like, because you watch, like you said, Marner. I honestly, in game 3, Matthews was not very good in game 3. Game 4, again, same thing as Marner. Where is he? And I didn't see game 5 is the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Game 3, the Leafs won, but I didn't think Matthews had a good game. Game 4 and game 5, Matthews did not have a good game. I think most of the Leafs had bad games in game 5. Or game 5 when the Sens won 4-0.
Yeah.
I didn't see game 6 because I was like, I just don't want to sit, like it's going to stress me out too much. So I sat that one out.
Yeah.
But like if they're going to play like that, there's no chance they're going to play. They're not going to be, if they win a game against Florida.
They won't get the calls they got against Ottawa, against Florida.
No. Which was most of their offense came on power play goals that were bouncing in off of somebody's leg or whatever.
Yeah.
They ain't getting
I will
that.
tell you, the 2 guys that impressed me the most from Toronto, forwards I'm looking at, were Nylander and Matthew Knies. To me, they were the 2 best forwards.
I'll give you Matthew Knies 100%. Like I that's the most I've ever liked him as a hockey player. Like that's the best hockey I think he's played.
Oh, he was awesome.
Yeah. Like but if you're counting on Matthew Knies to be your best player, and this is how sports media talks is, well, for Toronto to win the next round, they're going to need performances from Matthew Knies. And it's like, if he's the guy you're counting on, you're lost already. You're done.
Yeah.
Don't even bother. Because nobody says, gee, if Evander Kane has the Edmonton Oilers need Evander Kane to win this series. it starts and ends with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't
And
start and end with Matthews and Marner, the Leafs are done. They're
yeah,
done.
they
And
will they
I've seen nothing in round one that makes me think that it's not the same Matthews and Marner that we've seen in the playoffs every year. The only difference is they were playing a team that hadn't been in the playoffs before, made some nervous, jittery mistakes in game one. And the refs definitely, like, I don't want to accuse refs
oh
of bias, but they
it's
definitely tilted the ice in the Leafs' favor. There were
absolutely.
there were more bad calls against the Sens than there were for them,
Yep.
and that's you just go back and watch game tape, watch Tim Stützle with the first penalty in the series, and like Tanev, who's known as a big strong guy, goes down like, wait a second
Well,
here, buddy.
and the Matthews dive from Gaudette. Gaudette is 153 pounds soaking wet, and Matthews is 6'3", 6'4",
He got a
and
cross-checking penalty, and it
and he
was his
barely,
hand that hit him,
yeah, and it's like he
and
went
Matthews
down
went down.
like he
Probably.
just got shot. And we've had so many people talking about Stutzla being a diver. Like Matthews was the biggest diver in
Oh,
this series.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. That
So
was so. Yeah, like you said. I mean, tip your cap to the Leafs. They made it. But if they play to the same level in the next round, there ain't no there.
yeah,
There's no point in Game 5. There's no point in Game 5, like, because they're gonna get swept. They
yeah.
were they were not they were. I did not see them as a team better than the Ottawa Senators, and they won the series, but
See,
I I, I saw nothing.
I'm I'm looking at the future of the Senators for the next 5 to 10 years, and I'm like, wow. I'm looking in the future of the Maple Leafs. I think you've got if you're lucky enough that you're going to get Marner to sign again and John Tavares to resign, you better hope that one of them takes a hometown discount. But
Oh,
if
Marner's
you
gone.
but
Marner's gone.
who do you have after? So if you don't win this year, next year or the year after, and then your window just closed.
And you look at who the best players were for the Sens in that series. Like, you got to say Tyler Clevin was one of the best players on the Sens.
He was awesome.
Jake Sanderson was. I watched a lot of playoff hockey this year. Jake Sanderson was probably top 3 defensemen in all of the playoffs this year.
Yep.
Like, I might even, you could even make an argument for him being the best one. So Jake Sanderson, Tyler Clevin, you look at the youth, and it's, well, even Martin Paolo. Like, I was shocked at how well Martin Paolo was playing. He didn't play a lot, but I don't think he made a mistake.
No, he was solid. What you want from your number 3 pair, right?
Yeah.
Your 6th defenseman is not to put you in trouble, and he didn't. So,
And
so I,
Stützle was everything that Marner should be,
yep.
and he isn't in the playoffs. Like,
So I'm very confident and looking forward to the next 5 to 10 years in Ottawa with the Ottawa Senators.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
And the Leafs, I'm not sure if you can say that.
I
I
mean, I
think,
think the Leafs make the playoffs next year, but I need to
but
see what their team looks like before I wager $1 on.
but who are they going to be able to re-sign Marner and Tavares? And if they can't, who are they going to get to replace them?
Well, they'll re-sign Tavares. Tavares wants to stay, and he'll
Yeah,
give
he
them a
wants to
hometown
stay.
visit. But when the Leafs get blown out in 4 games or 5 games by Florida, everyone will be calling for Marner to be out, and they won't re-sign him. He'll he'll get a big money contract somewhere like Nashville or some team in the States for 15 or 4 years at 14 million or 15 million or whatever. And he'll
Mhm.
be gone.
Yep.
He'll be gone. And that's fine.
I'm not gonna complain.
Well, Marner's a
As
great
as a
player, but he's
Sensman,
not
yeah,
a if
he's a
if
very good
I'm
player.
if I'm picking sticks for game 7 of a Stanley Cup final, Marner ain't even getting a look by me. Like,
No,
sorry, buddy, but not even I don't think I'd take Matthews. Like like
I don't have a very high opinion of Austin Matthews.
like
So
he's a great goal scorer, but
amazing
I just keep
skills.
looking at Draisaitl and McDavid, and every time they need those guys to step up, they don't just step up; they dominate.
Yep.
And every time the Leafs need Marner and Matthews to step up, they don't. Like they're gone; they disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nylander at least plays well in the playoffs, but the
Yeah.
other two, it's like you guys are just you don't know how to elevate in the moment, and whatever.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the other series.
Yes.
Montreal, Washington.
I thought Montreal was gonna do better, but Washington is a heavy team. And they learned a lot last year, and they made some moves in the off season that are all paying off. And now they're going to be better. Well, Thompson is back, right? He played. So they're going to be
Yeah.
better because Protas is
Well, and
back
we didn't think
now
he was
from,
going to play, right?
yeah, but he played in game 5. So I didn't think Washington was going to be as good as they were. And
Well, I didn't think they'd play as well defensively. Like that was the part of the game that surprised me was how they played in their own end.
yeah, so Washington is a load, and Carolina, Washington's going to be an interesting series because Carolina looked really good. So my question is it because New Jersey was that bad, or was Carolina that good?
I
But
feel like New
Carolina
Jersey is
looked
that bad.
really, really good.
I feel like New Jersey is that bad too, though.
Yeah.
Like after watching the first round, I kind of lean towards. I definitely lean towards Washington in this series
So
because
do
they
I.
were they were very physical. They were solid defensively. They just looked like it's not taking anything away from Carolina. They looked really good too. But I think the level of competition was probably New Jersey
Yeah.
just did not look.
In New Jersey, too many injuries right now. Like
Yeah.
the Hughes brothers were gone. Somebody else was hurt. Like you're missing your top center and the top 4 defensemen. You're gonna struggle. You're not gonna do it unless you're the Dallas Stars.
Yeah. Well, or Mikko Rantanen, who basically picked the team up on his back and said, "We're going to
Yeah,
win this round, okay, boys? Just give
yeah.
me the puck."
So
All 3 goals. He was in on all 3 goals, right, in that game.
and he had a hat trick and an assist. He scored the empty net goal.
Oh, did he? Okay, there
Yeah.
you go.
So he
I
had
just saw the
3 goals and
three,
one
the
assist.
the 2-0 to 3-2, 7 minutes or whatever it was in the
Yeah.
third period, where he basically took over.
Yeah.
So, okay. What else? Tampa Bay,
But
Florida. I think
shocked.
we were.
I'm shocked.
I'm not shocked that that Florida won, but I am shocked that Tampa Bay rolled over so easily in that.
Um, I saw on Twitter today that or yesterday that when they have the panel, I think out of 12 experts, all 12 of them took Tampa Bay over Florida.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, because of this is the third year. Um, they've been into the finals 2 years in a row.
you figured
Kachuk
that Florida
came
would
back
be.
from an injury. Um, Ekblad wasn't suspended for 2 games, and then got suspended again for 1 game, and he's going to miss the first game against Toronto. So, because
that
of
was just
all that,
pure violence. That series was pure violence.
yeah. And it would have been the Ottawa Toronto series if it wasn't for the reffing in the first game. Also,
Well, that might be why they like. I assume the league did something to crack it down. Like, because it was just pretty obvious what they were doing in that series. But the other series in the East was
that's it.
that's it.
Carolina,
Okay.
New Jersey, Toronto, Florida, Tampa Bay, Ottawa, Toronto, and
Okay.
Washington,
Okay.
Montreal.
So the West, Dallas. We touched on Dallas and Colorado. I I'm surprised with the result, to be honest.
Without
Like,
you, like, we need to see that again because I thought they were even teams with Heiskanen and Jason Robertson. Then you take them out of the Dallas lineup. There's no way Colorado should lose that series, and they did.
yeah.
So
Well, and Rantanen, like honestly, Rantanen, like at this point, if you had to pick a MVP for the playoffs, it's Rantanen.
yeah,
He literally picked that team up.
he said,
Um,
"Let's go. We're winning."
let's go, boys. I got this. Edmonton, LA. When Edmonton went down 2-0, did you think Edmonton would
I
be
thought
able
that
to come back?
no, I thought that was it, and it's I'm gonna say it, but it's not from me. I'm not the one that thought about this, or I read about it, and then I heard about it, and then I looked at it, and I'm like, wow, the person, the coach of the LA Kings, if he's still there at the start of next year, I'll be shocked because he's the one that lost that series. Because if you look at the time on ice, he played 3 lines and 4 defensemen. So and with Edmonton coming back and winning games 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3, 4, 5, and 6,
Yeah.
don't be shocked because they were done. They were done. Like, look, if you look at game three, LA was winning. And then Connor McDavid said, okay, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
But it says it like they were done at the end of game 3. The Kings were done
Well,
because
I see it a little differently in that I just see that McDavid and Draisaitl just took
but
over.
look at the time on ice for the LA Kings. The top 3 lines. I think the fourth line had between 2 and 5 minutes per player.
Well,
And the bottom pair defensemen had less than 7 minutes each.
well, okay. Minnesota, Vegas. Like, I mean, no surprise there.
No surprise. And Minnesota, watch out for Minnesota next year and for the next few years. Because I think Minnesota this year, in the off season, they're gonna have like 20 or $25 million in cap space, eh?
Well, they're
Because
probably out from all the cap problems that they've had, right?
they had $14 million that came off the books
Yeah.
for the Parise and Ryan Suter buyouts. That's $14 million. You add the $7 million, $7.5 million, you had 21 million plus the contracts that came off the books. They're gonna
They're
have $25 million.
they're adding. They're going to be clearly adding a $950,000 salary in a defenseman in Zeev Bayou because I mean he looks NHL ready.
Yeah.
he looks NHL ready.
He will be next year. It's going to be between him, Demidov for rookie of the
Rookie
year.
of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and I guess we're still checking on the other series, which is still going on.
Yeah,
You said
it's
3-1 last time we.
um I think it's 3-1.
Yeah.
I think it's intermission now.
So I mean, let's assuming St. Louis wins that. Although you can't really do that after, if Dallas taught us anything, is you can't do that.
Well,
But
right now it's not looking good for the Jets.
how do you evaluate Connor Hellebuck after, if they lose this series? How do you evaluate him? Vezina, probably Vezina winning goalie
Yes,
and possibly MVP.
he's in the running for the MVP. He's in the top three, and I think he wins a Vezina. Um, the way I look at it is um, the it's there's something happening with him mentally because he's the shots are going through him. It's not as if he's getting beat. You know what I mean? They're going through him. And
Yeah,
when the shots go through you, there's something mentally that's happening. So it's 3-1 with 9 minutes left, according
yeah, I
to
know Zach.
Zach.
Zach messaged both of us. So
I know.
thank,
Our one,
thank you,
our
Zach.
one, our one viewer.
Actually, yes,
Um,
we have one viewer right now.
so that's, to me, that's part of it. The other part of it, again, they keep playing Hellebuck 60 to 65 games in a year.
And maybe he's like Freddie Anderson in that you can't play him that much. You gotta rest him a little bit
Yeah.
during the regular season.
So, um, looking here, right here, I'm gonna look for the stats for this year to see where how many games he played. But I guarantee you that he played more than 60 games.
Oh, for sure. I haven't looked either, but I mean, he's that kind of guy that wants to play. I'm like you though.
Mm.
I don't know that he should be playing that much.
He
And
played 60 games.
if he's
Well,
falling apart in the playoffs, like last year it was 5 games. I think the last 2 years he only lasted 5 games.
yeah. So he played 60 games. So
Okay, so let's move on. We've talked about the NHL playoffs, the
yep.
DCHL playoffs. We've been criticized that we talk too much about the draft and not enough about the DCHL playoffs. So let's talk DCHL playoffs, shall we? I'm going to call up
Yep.
the league thing here, and we can take a look at. This is what we have right now. We have Buffalo beating Boston. I think you picked Boston to win. I picked Buffalo.
Okay, I did, then I went back and I looked at it again, and then I changed my mind. You know what brackets that we did with Zach?
Yeah,
I changed my pick to Buffalo.
I just found Boston was I think I think they were more good luck than good management last year, and uh, Buffalo is just a stronger team. So
Yeah, and again, I looked at it and it's like it's hard to go against Surstiken in the
if you can't
playoffs.
pronounce the name, you can't be on the show.
Okay, well,
American.
you have a good evening. I guess I'm gonna have to sign off.
Okay, Don Cherry. Okay, um, Montreal, Montreal, and the Islanders went to 7. I think we both thought it was going to be a tough series.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a tough series, but I thought Montreal was going to win. Not that I didn't think that the Islanders weren't good. I just thought that Montreal did so much at the trade deadline to improve his team
Yeah,
that I thought that he had done enough to beat out the Islanders. So, but
I don't
impressive.
I don't remember who I picked because I remember it just being really close in my mind.
Yeah,
So I don't remember.
good job, Flax.
Yeah, although
And
you're down, Flats, buddy, I need you to win this series. I need
yes,
you to beat Ian so that my first round pick is number 18 and not number way too high,
28 or 29.
something like that. I don't
It's
know.
11 pick difference for you, Steve.
Yeah. So I mean, it's all on you, Flax.
Yeah,
No pressure.
come on, Flax. And you didn't start off well.
I think we both had Philly and New Jersey winning to go on.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
and I just, hey, but I don't think New Jersey won that series in 5 games. But that is the most even-sided 5-game series I think in hockey history. 3 of them or 4 of them went to overtime. One of them was a 4 overtime game. Like that's insanity.
Yeah. It was a close series between New Jersey and Columbus.
Yeah, Mig definitely deserved more than a 5-game series.
And it's tough because Mig like finished ahead in New Jersey, and you get the New Jersey Devils.
Well, Boston. Okay, this is the funny thing: is Boston and Buffalo would be ranked 15 and 16, and they played in the first round. Uh, all
Mm,
please address all complaints to Gary Bettman
yes.
because this system's stupid. I think we all agree on that.
Yeah. And
Okay,
but Philly and Carolina,
Carolina.
didn't they go to 7 games? They went to
They
seven
went to
games, eh?
seven. They went to seven, and it was a battle. It was a
And
battle.
you know what? The changes that Mike made at the deadline again, or just before the deadline, adding McKinnon and who else did he add? He added another player. So that put him over the top. He's gonna have one of the best teams in the league next year,
I think
Carolina.
so. I think so. Well, he's
It's
still got McKinnon for another year, right?
yeah. So Carolina, Philly, New Jersey, and New York Islanders are going to be tough to beat next year.
Well, and Columbus. I mean, they always seem to make it. So
Yeah, but
I see those same 5 teams making it again next year.
yeah, I think so.
Okay, so the series that was just basically, if I could pay to watch any series, it would have been the Utah Minnesota one. Again, 2 teams that should not be facing each other in the first round. And Utah, I mean, winning it in 6 games, but that series could have gone, that could have been 11-10 in a 21 game series. Like it was just that close.
Yeah, Utah did well and beating Minnesota, which had an awesome season. But I had picked Utah, I think, but I believe.
I think we both had Utah winning that.
Yeah.
And
To
this one, I
me,
believe we had.
the shocker, not that Chicago won, but that they won in 5 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm shocked. I thought Dallas was going to give them a much tougher series, and I had Dallas winning.
Yeah.
But
I'm pretty sure I had Chicago winning, but I don't, I would not have picked 5 games. Like
no,
that was crazy. And I think Calgary won fairly. No, they went to 7 games.
yeah,
Calgary went to 7, and both these series went to 7, right? San Jose and Vancouver.
yeah.
And who did Calgary play?
St. Louis,
St. Louis. The bright or the little Cinderella story. St.
St.
Louis.
Louis. Again, I didn't expect St. Louis to make it to 7 games against Calgary. I didn't expect St. Louis to make the playoffs.
Well, neither of us did because they had such a huge final month of the season.
Yep.
So okay, so let's talk predictions here. I guess Vancouver Vancouver, San Jose. I think we both felt Vancouver was the better team,
Yeah,
but
I
in a
I
tight race.
think I think Jean did an awesome job of building a really good team.
Well, and you made a point. I might have been in a private chat, so maybe I shouldn't be sharing this. But perhaps doing GM of the year shouldn't be done until
Yes,
after the playoffs are over, because that certainly would impact the results. And you made a good point. So I'll let you have the floor, and you can.
yeah. Well, that was after I made my choices, and then I saw what everybody chose, and um, Eric winning the GM of the year. Like, congratulations to him. But we're not in this league, and they're not playing the game right now to win the regular season. Nobody gives a shit about winning the regular season. So I don't know who finished first overall in the regular season this year. And Winnipeg Jets, I think, finished first or second in the regular season. Like, no, Winnipeg won their first um, President's Trophy this year,
Yeah,
and they're
Winnipeg
about to
won.
get eliminated. Ask them if they would rather win a President's Trophy or win a Stanley Cup. You're going to get 100% of the people that are involved in hockey. It's winning the Stanley Cup, not winning the President's Trophy. So
Yep.
to me, like, winning the 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 Stanley Cup and how well your team does in the playoffs does matter. So to me, the GM of the year in the DCHL should be voted on after the playoffs.
To be honest, I never thought about it that way, but I kind of agree with you. I kind of agree with you that
Like,
it should be an award that's talked about after the playoffs are over, because that is definitely uh, it would impact people's vote.
yeah, like, to me right now, like, Eric got eliminated by Flax, and he did an amazing job. I'm not taking it away. And I didn't have Jean my top three votes for Vancouver. But then I start to look at, yeah, he didn't do a lot of moves, but I will tell you, it's not easy being at the top and your team is not doing as well as you think it should be doing.
Well, he
So
built his team in the summer.
when he started, he didn't, his team was like at the bottom of the league the first 10, 12 games of the year. And he finished one of the top teams in the league, and now he's on to the second round against Calgary. If he beats Calgary and he's in the semifinals, and he did some of his moves in the summer, as you said. I didn't like his move to get Charlie Coyle, but it gave him the second line center he needed.
Jeremy Swayman. He
Jeremy
he
Swayman.
he gave up a lot to get Jeremy Swayman, and
Yeah.
I would say he probably gave up too much, but I mean, look where he's at right now.
Yeah.
Well,
So is it too much if you have a winning team?
well, and that's that's the counter argument to me that I cannot reply to, because you're right. I mean, what would I give up to be in his position right now? I'd give up a lot.
Yeah.
So there you
So
go.
that was my point that in the chat that, yeah, I had with you and Zach. And I think that we should consider next year and in the
That's a
future.
great point. Okay, so let's talk predictions for this year's playoffs. Um, Maybe let's not talk about the NHL one, since
No,
one's
let's go
still.
DCHL.
Yeah, let's just do DCHL. Um, we know the Islanders lost today to Buffalo. Do you think? Do you think Buffalo holds it, or do you think the Islanders come back in
I'm
the
gonna go
series?
with the Islanders and Flax against Buffalo.
I am too, but I'm only doing that because I really need Flax to win because I really don't want
It's all self-serving.
absolutely all self-serving. Like if I have to go and like torpedo Ian's computer, I will.
Yes,
So,
all
okay.
self-serving.
Yes. New Jersey and Buffalo, or sorry, Philly. Philly won game one. I think it was in overtime,
No,
maybe.
New Jersey won game one.
New Jersey won game one?
Yep.
No, you're right. New Jersey won game one. Okay.
Oh,
So,
Winnipeg just scored with a minute 55 left. Sorry.
ooh, this is exciting.
3-2.
Okay. So,
Nemetsnikov.
do you think Philly comes back in the series here with New Jersey, or do you think New Jersey holds it?
Okay, I had Philly as my to win the cup. So, and New Jersey, like they won in five.
Against a good team. I'm kind of leaning towards New Jersey here, but I've been a New Jersey
I'm gonna stick with
fan.
Philly because I picked Philly to win the cup.
Okay. And I'll have New Jersey.
Okay.
And we both had Islanders in the first series. Okay. Chicago and Utah. I'm going to just,
Wait,
I'll come right out and say Utah.
yeah, me too.
I think the Cinderella run for Chicago, and it's been a great year for them. I think it ends here with Utah.
Yeah, I agree.
Calgary, Vancouver.
I'm gonna go with Vancouver.
Okay, I'll go with Calgary just because it's different than you, and I've really got nothing. Um, I mean, both teams are good. Both teams could win the whole thing. So,
Yeah.
and again, it's kind of sucky that the way the system is set up in the playoffs. Okay, and
No.
you look like you had a point you wanted to make about one of the series, Chicago, Utah, maybe.
No, I just well, I just again, I think Utah is one of the best teams in the league, and so I was surprised that Chicago made it to the second round. So and then won in so few games. So
Okay, and I would like to say one more thing on hockey that's a little different. There is another Ottawa team that is in the playoffs this year, the
Ottawa
Ottawa
Charge.
Charge. Big win yesterday, beating Toronto,
It's
and
always good.
I'm kind of torn as to who I want them to play in the first round. Either Montreal or Toronto is like a kind of a win-win for me. Like that's those are both watchable series. So I don't know if you
Um,
watched as much PWHL as I did this year, but
no, I don't watch a lot because I just only have so many hours in the day because watch a lot of junior hockey and a lot of NHL. But I follow the Ottawa Charge and PWHL. The To me, it's like maybe I'm overthinking it, but what if Montreal would choose to play Ottawa over Minnesota, right? Because Minnesota finished fourth because of it's a two-hour travel
well, and
opposed to
that's I think that's the reason why they've that they'll never say this, but I think that's the reason why they've set it up so that it, it's an easier like I think Montreal is a great team. Marie-Philippe Poulet is one of the greatest players of all time,
yep.
if not the greatest player. If they think they can beat both teams, why not go with the one that's closer to home and cheaper and all that?
Because it's cheaper. It's 2 hours. Like it's a lot not as hard on the body to travel 2 hours compared to travel to Minnesota because they're
And
not
make Toronto do that.
exactly like to me. That's what I was trying to get to in a long-winded way, is make Toronto travel another time zone to Minnesota. So whenever in Minnesota, whoever comes out of that series is going to be more tired than Montreal would. If you believe that you can beat either team, that would be my the way I
Well,
look at it.
as someone who travels for work a reasonable amount, it's exhausting. Travel, it's exhausting.
Hmm.
So make Toronto. Well, and we're assuming Toronto would win. Like Minnesota is the defending champion. So make both of them travel. And if you think you can beat Ottawa, and I feel that Montreal is probably the better team, especially because Ottawa's goalie, Amelin,
Emma
Emelin,
House, Emma House.
well, their top goalie is out with injury.
Yeah.
So without her, I feel like Montreal is much likelier winner of the series. So, but I mean, that's also going to be if they pick Ottawa, that's an easy clipboard item for Ottawa to put up in the locker room, right? Oh, you think
Yeah.
we're the worst team? Okay, bring
But
it.
to me, that's what I would go with, just to avoid the travel.
Yeah, Mashmeyer, by the way,
Mashmeyer.
who I think is the top goalie in the league
So
until she
it's
got
Ottawa needs to figure out how to score goals. That's their problem, is they can't score.
Although, if you see the move the that I don't remember who scored it, but the winning goal in overtime against Toronto
I
yesterday.
didn't see it.
Oh my God! You just watch it.
I'll watch it.
It's like sometimes you see goals that are like you go, wow,
Yeah.
that's a goal in the NHL.
Yeah.
Now maybe
So
she doesn't make the move around the defenseman in the NHL like she did there, but
yeah.
damn good play, damn good play. So
So um I will admit I have a sickness, but it's okay. As long as I know I have a problem. You know what I was watching this morning?
no,
The scrimmage for the development camp for the Ottawa 67's draft picks for the last 2 years. I'm watching online the scrimmage for that.
wow. Okay, well, when this is my in the summer
Oh,
when
they just tied it with 1.6 seconds.
no,
They just tied the game with 1.6 seconds.
wow, and like the coach for St. Louis, his job starts now because that team is the deflated level that those guys are going to be under. Wow, I almost feel like we should
1.6 seconds, and your guy, goal for
call.
Freddie.
No, I like that trade. I still like that trade. Aaron Ekblad, I still like that
Oh
trade.
yes,
But I
but
love
it's
Cole.
still your guy. Doesn't
He's
matter
still
how
my
you
guy.
say it. Deflected from
1.6 seconds. That's beautiful.
Connor, Kyle Connor, from a shot from Connor.
In the summer when they have the rookie tournaments, they're on YouTube. I literally watch like 10 to 15 of those games on YouTube.
Send me the link because I haven't found them.
Oh, well,
But
you have to see you have to just follow the St. Louis Blues YouTube
okay,
channel. The Ottawa Center, New Jersey plays them,
I
Columbus plays them, Ottawa
I
plays them.
because I follow everything about the Ottawa Senators, and I didn't see them last couple of summers. But
Well, it depends on like if who's hosting the tournament
okay, they're
because
the
I think
ones
if
that can.
because I think they're the ones that run the feed for the
Okay,
games. Like I know, well, New Jersey runs their games, but Buffalo also does as well. You just gotta play around
okay,
on YouTube to find
okay.
them.
I'll look it up. Yeah,
But
but that's what I was doing this morning,
they're
is watching the scrimmage for
they
the
tell you
Ottawa
a lot
67.
about these guys. They tell you a whole lot about these kids,
Yeah.
and I think I learn as much about these kids in that as what I do just because it's on YouTube. You can pause it, you can go
Mm-hmm.
back and you can watch. Oh, Carson Lambos got beat on that play. Well, That doesn't make me happy. Oh, Sebastian Cossa gave up a soft one through the legs. That's not cool. Like you really kind of use that that was where I really fell in love with Dawson Mercer. Was in one of these tournaments. So there you go. But cool. I don't have. I mean, we've covered more than I thought, and I guess I'm gonna want to watch the overtime. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I want to watch overtime also.
I know a lot of St. Louis fans that don't.
And I don't think we have any St. Louis fans in the league, but I know we have Jets fans.
We definitely have Jets fans. Congratulations, Trevor. I know you're a Jets fan. Who else would it be? Oh, Kalen would be a Jets fan as well. I'm not sure if they're loyal viewers or not, but anyway.
But I think they're more they're busier. They have other
Kalen's got
things
a
that they
baby
want to look at.
Kalen's got a baby.
Yes, but
You
still the Jets game is on, so they're not watching us now.
Okay, well, why don't we wrap it up here? And maybe next time we're on, I don't know, next week. I would like to do some draft stuff. I know that we haven't done draft stuff in a long time, contrary to previous comments. We haven't really talked about it. We haven't done a mock draft yet. We haven't done any of that. And my draft prep is like I'm full on into it. So would we maybe next time we do a little mock draft?
Yeah. I'm for it. You know me.
Well, you're picking it number 4, is it? I don't
4
remember.
and 7.
4 and 7. Oh, okay. So
did I tell you
and
the worst
Eklund.
that could have happened to me in this draft lottery that you did, okay, was for me to draft 4 and 8. And I ended up drafting 4 and 7. It's like
I'm sorry. I just,
I feel like
Randy paid more than you did.
I know, obviously.
So unless you're going to come through with the blame, then forget it. I mean, it's the funniest moment of the draft lottery was before we did the final. We do a bunch of test runs, and then I pick a number, and we sim that many times, and Gage picks a number, and we sim that many times, and then Trevor picks a number, we sim that many times, and the next one is the real sim. Gage says, as long as Edmonton doesn't win with my pick, I'm happy. And I'm like, okay, click. Edmonton wins with his pick. And Gage is like, shit. And then we realized that Winnipeg has moved up, and it's like, oh my God. But our first acknowledgement was that
Gage.
Well, sorry, Gage. You traded away number 1 overall.
Or whoever you got. That can't feel good.
Well, I mean, I think I might take Misa over Schaefer, but I mean, either one of the two of them are outstanding players.
Yeah.
Like
I know that we're not supposed to draft by need, but at this point, to me, it's like, what do you need more? A defenseman or a center? And
I don't know. After last year's draft being so strong in D, like I picked Bedinka in the second round.
So for me, since I have so many defensemen, I picked 3 defensemen in the first round last year.
Well, Schaefer's off the board when you pick at 4, so it's really not going to be. You're going to get Porter, Martone, or Hagens, or Froland, or
Frundell.
Frondell. Sorry, I'm thinking Eklund, and I got Froland and Eklund mixed up in my head. Frondell, Desnoyers, like you're going to get a really good centerman at 4.
Yeah.
You probably get another good one at 7 too. You can get 2.
Let's hope so.
Well, I'll maybe get Eklund at 7, and there's your goal scorer to play with your your centerman. Like maybe
And
go.
everybody in the top 5 picks that pick in the top 5 knows that I'm trying to trade up. I've already contacted every single one of them.
Randy ain't trading that pick.
So
Randy will give up his baby daughter before he gives up that pick. Okay,
I'm not saying to completely just to trade back.
I know. Well, but see, I don't know, because trading back, here we are talking about the draft now. Okay, maybe they have a point. But the difference between Misa at 2 and who's the 7th one? Would that be Eklund, maybe?
Okay, let's say it's Eklund.
Okay, like you go Misa, Hagens,
Martone.
Martone, Frondel, Desnoyers, and Eklund in some order. And I'm not even
Yeah.
saying that's the order. What's the difference between the second one and the 7th one in that? And it's not huge.
And we haven't talked about Roger McQueen, that is a 6'5" center that
Because you
could
couldn't
be
watch him this year. Like he's
like
huge. He is like what I've heard and what I've seen, good. But I need to see more. Than what did he play, like 10 games this year?
28
Maybe okay, more than 10.
17 to I
He
think
did
it's
not.
20
He
points.
came back after being hurt, and then he got hurt again.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if you're looking at potential and you have multiple picks in the top 10, and or you've had multiple picks or you will have multiple picks, and there's a swing to be taken on a player, a 6'5" center is not a bad one to take, is what I'm saying.
No, and I mean Beckett Seneke last year it's a bigger surprise to me that Beckett Seneke went where he did than if McQueen moved into the top 5.
Yep. And I was listening to a podcast this weekend, and they said that they believe that McQueen is better than Lindstrom that went 4 last year.
And he's injured.
And
Lindstrom.
they both were injured. So
yeah,
you know?
it wouldn't, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me,
No.
especially because of the size. And he's a center. Like
So
he will be a real hard guy to play against for sure.
and it's going to be what's going to happen tomorrow night? The draft lottery.
Oh, is it tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night.
There you go.
So
See, the one of those guys I listed, I give Eklund the biggest chance of slipping out of the top 10.
Because he's a small winger.
He's a small winger. He can score, but he was also playing with Frondel, and maybe most of his offense came from Frondel. Like I don't know, NHL
But
GMs like that.
he was the better player at the World Junior Championships.
Eklund or Frondel?
Eklund was much better than Frondel at the World Juniors.
I don't know who I'd take between them, to be honest, at this point.
But again, you take the 6'1" center or the 5'11" winger.
See, but the size wouldn't push me off as much as it would push you off. Although, like, I ain't running up to get Cullen Potter. But okay, well, now for those listening at home, Cullen Potter is a very small but
5'9",
very talented player. But I'm just not sure his game's going to play in the NHL at his size. We'll have to see. But the Frondel, 1 inch, that's how much the difference between 6 feet is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
Okay, Jean, I think we'll have to say goodbye to our loyal listener, viewer. Maybe we'll see more later. I don't know. And we'll talk probably next week. Again, maybe do a mock draft. Maybe we'll bring somebody on to do it with us. I
I
tried
wouldn't
to
be
get
in-
Eric to come on. I've
He won't
offered
be interested in doing a mock draft.
Eric.
Oh yeah, he's out now.
He's out. He doesn't have any picks, I don't think, or not certainly not in the first round.
No.
So, okay, so we'll figure out what we're doing next week. Next week,
Yeah, next week I'm in.
bye.
Oh, it's Mother's Day.
Your mom's invited if she wants to be on.
No, my wife. My wife, more important.
Okay, well she's invited too.
Not saying my wife is more important than my mom because my mom has passed away, but at this point, it's my wife.
No, I get it. Your wife.
Yes. So I will confirm.
Okay, we'll have to
Okay.
figure it out.